Guys, it really is 2015 again. We've circled all the way back around to there being a lot of hubbub about how annoying any fandom of something Toby Fox has made is really annoying and cringe. I don't even necessarily disagree as part of that contingent. Hey fellas, and welcome back to With a Y, and today we have something of a follow-up to the W Place video I made a few days ago. Basically, if you don't know, W Place is like our place where it's a big projection of Google Maps and people can draw pixel art anywhere on the world in a sort of like community project. They can draw over people's stuff, they can draw with other people, and because it's like the most culturally relevant pixel art thing today, and also because a lot of people at the start of W Place first taking off, Deltarune was basically just littered across the globe. Go to your hometown on W Place and there's probably gonna be like a little Spampton or even a Starwalker or Togor somewhere. It was anywhere you looked, even like little pockets of the world designed for specific fandoms or communities, there was probably gonna be something from the game just poking out. And you know, I think to a certain extent it's understandable that people were like, it's just Deltarune everywhere, man, because it was a lot of like the same sprite getting recreated pixel perfect in different places. And that all kind of came to a head the other day when someone tweeted this. They defaced Haru Arara days before this. You could stand to be much more angry. First, always bet on losing horses. And this is Haru Arara from Umamasume, that horse girl racing game. I'm sure plenty of you like it. I tried it. It seemed neat for what it was. The defacing they're talking about, though, is somebody having put friend eyes on this shit. The one yellow and the one pink eye. The one in pink eye sounds crazy. You just had people saying shit like this, which I don't want to ascribe more meaning to what this dude intended behind this than I can get off the surface, but this is just such a funny sentence. Because they defaced the drawing of this horse girl, this person said, I don't think Deltarune fans fully realize the war they have waged. And before we continue, if this seems unserious to you, that's because it is. I intend my coverage of this to be mostly tongue-in-cheek because watching this evolve how it has over the last few days has been really funny. But for context, I will throw a bone to Umamasume fans. The horse that Haru Arara was based after, Haru Arara, was a real racehorse who passed away recently. They had a record 0 wins and 113 losses over their career, and they went viral for that as like a symbol of perseverance and tenacity. That horse recently passed away, and people were drawing the character in the game that was based off of them as a kind of memorial. So defacing something like this specifically, while people might have not known the exact context, I would argue is like kind of in poor taste. But even still, the reaction has been kind of insane. Deltarune fans are going out of their way to make sure everybody hates them with that W Place shit. I don't really know that they are, man. I think it's just like, through pure exposure, a decent amount of people are gonna get mad at having to see Deltarune all the time. It's understandable to get sick of something you have no attachment to but have to keep seeing. On top of that, though, it's like when you say shit like, you could stand to be much more angry. Yeah, I could stand to. I just don't. I understand the feelings you have about this, but I just struggle to get much more worked up over this whole thing than I already am, which is not much at all, even like as a person who likes Deltarune and seeing the good name of the game dragged through the mud. It's not even the game so much people are hating on, it is just the fan base, which is very classic for anything Toby Fox centered. This really is an issue that you can just turn off Twitter or TikTok and not really have to deal with anymore. And this fucking shitpost rock guy, I don't know how you live the Twitter existence this guy does. Like, I feel like I'm pretty miserable on that website. I don't know how he goes day to day like this. I honestly just feel bad for Toby at this point. No wonder he does not want to interact with the Western fans. What the fuck are you talking about? He doesn't interact with Western fans? And it is really funny because Deltarune just became another term for the new woke thing. This can all go away if he comes out as transphobic. What the fuck do trans people have to do with this? I can't even like find the rage in my heart at like, you know, blatant bigotry. It's just like, where's the jump, man? Dude, he put trans people in the game. Like, they don't even like want to call it dog shit because I think people understand like on a base level that the writing's good and the game's competently made. So it has to be like, it would be good except for woke. Somehow, trans people got something to do with this. It should be made clear that the people who are talking like this are in a specific fandom or on like a specific side of Twitter, and the people saying like the outright transphobic stuff, it's like an even smaller niche they're in. There are plenty of trans Umamasume fans, and there's not really a reason to blow this up bigger than it is. It's just very entertaining. Reddit army assemble. I don't know if that's the appropriate use of that caption, but you do have people coming up in arms. They defaced Haru Arara. I have my hammer ready. They want war, I'll give them war. Using like the fucking lawn chair and a Halo Reach with a gravity hammer. I think ultimately, if you're like too offended in either direction, like if you're a Deltarune fan who is like really put off or like emotionally affected by this, you need to step off the platform, center yourself, touch some grass, spend some time offline. That also goes for the people who are taking this whole defacing thing and like saying that the griefing and art vandalism is like really immoral or some shit. Like, dude, you can redraw this stuff. I understand like feeling some level of emotion over it, but like also you equally need to step offline. This also comes with the fact that I don't think W Place is as special if it doesn't have griefing or the ability to do so. The big thing that made our place so interesting was it was people fighting for a limited amount of space. It was like subreddits and communities banding together to try and maintain a certain amount of pixels and like keep a drawing alive on a ever-growing and ever-changing public platform that anybody could put a pixel to. W Place just has that issue way less because there's way more space to go around. It's the communal interplay that makes the whole thing interesting, which yes, it means that things you draw have a chance of just getting completely pasted over. That said, it's like why a building lasting so long on the oldest anarchy server in Minecraft, 2b2t, is so impressive. You go in accepting the possibility of pain and seizure and commit to doing something in that context anyways, because it is the perseverance in the journey that matters. Someone might find your shit and blow up your spot like within a day, within minutes even, and still people try over and over again. W Place is much the same. In the same way that communities can band together in order to draw things, it's very much a deal where it can just as easily be overrun by people trying to sabotage you, and I guess that does usually happen in less serious context than making a memorial for a passed away horse. But also you have shit like this where it's like, in the same way that on 2b2t you have agitators who go out of their way to grief shit, the same possibility on W Place also exists. Like you have, due to the recent passing of Grass Wonder, we in the Spanish-speaking community of the game want to pay tribute to her through a collective pixel art. More than fair, happy to see it happen. And then somebody did the friend eyes over that memorial. Really, Deltarune fans? But the thing is, we're at the point where enough people are at least aware that people are up in arms about Deltarune that there's definitely Discord calls out there that are like, dude, it would be so fucking funny if we could just rile up Twitter more. Because the yellow and pink eye is not a hard thing to replicate, so any schmuck can just go on to anybody else's piece of art and put some fucking like Spamton eyes on it. And so people started doing like detective work. We will prove our innocence in the court of law. The pink and yellow are on the wrong side, as well as them being the wrong shade. Any Deltarune fan would know this, thus making this vandalism not done by a Deltarune fan, but instead someone trying to make Deltarune look bad. And I honestly think there's some truth to this. The truth is, if you show any form of genuine weakness on the internet, some cohort of people are going to zone in on that and pile the fuck in. Justified or not, people not being down with their art getting griefed and then making a post about it on Twitter to say, hey, I don't like that people did this to my thing. There is a demographic out there who sees that and it's like, oh, this pisses people off? I don't even like Deltarune. Now I just know what I have to do to get a reaction. And I'm not gonna pretend I'm immune to that shit, man. That absolutely works on me, and I absolutely do it to other people. It's for the love of the game. When you know damn well the pink yellow eyes vandalism was intentionally done by someone or a group to make Deltarune look bad, but you can't quite prove it. It is all circumstantial evidence, but that's all it really ever was. It's just people seeing the Deltarune iconic eyes and then, you know, reasonably associating that with Deltarune fans doing the griefing, which I'm sure some of it was, and then that being able to like fucking extend beyond that. In the W Place rules, it is very much said that you can draw over other people's art as long as you are using it to like actually make a new drawing. Just straight up drawing like a flat color over something somebody made is not only against the rules, but also just uninteresting. But I think the possibility of having your shit rocked is so intrinsic to what makes W Place interesting because of stuff like this. Americans and Japanese people were fighting over which flag goes on the Suribachi Memorial. So now they are all wargaming the Battle of Iwo Jima. Like, you can't tell me this isn't fucking hilarious. And this can't happen if we're like getting really stingy about the possibility of having art we made get drawn over. At the end of the day, there is plenty of room on the site for everything to exist, though if enough people gather gather in one place, it's going to be found out by other people, which makes the spot liable to get shut up. I just am a big proponent that, like, the whole point is the fact that something you make is temporary, and it is not beautiful because it lasts, it's beautiful because it was made. I come back to this war being waged concept and do really laugh because it makes me think of this one tweet somebody else already circled back to. Bro, you're not funny at all. Wait until 4chan raids this Twitter thread. If you want to know how that went down, let me show you what happened when this dude put the link to this tweet inside a 4chan thread. He just got BTFO'd, man. It was fucking a little sad. And I don't think what we're dealing with is nearly to the extent of how fucking kind of pathetic it was to watch this happen. It's just a very funny dynamic to see be on repeat. Bro, you're not funny at all. Wait until 4chan raids this Twitter thread. Kill yourself. Oh my god, dude. Oh, that shit is so good. Insufferable personality competition. You got this, champ. Nobody can stand against us Limbus fans, except for, you know, Spanton G. Spanton. All of this over W place. Oh, dude, I'm not gonna pretend I'm not equally as terminally online as some of these people, but at least in this specific instance, I'd like to think I'm parsing my own emotions around the situation a little better. I guess my last piece of advice is just reiterating what I've already done here. Just stop, smell the roses, understand that at the end of the day, all of this is supposed to be, like, fun and, you know, enriching, not enraging. If it ceases to bring you joy, then you might have to stop engaging for your well-being, which can be hard to do. I'm not trying to be, like, mightier than now. I understand, like, it's easy to get sucked into, like, the doom scroll of a site literally designed to prey on your dopamine receptors, or not even your dopamine, just your attention span to keep you using it for as long as possible. Even if keeping you on just means making you angry and invested in shit that it doesn't need to matter in your life, but it's less a criticism and more just like a thing to try and remind yourself of every now and then, because we can all fall prey to it. Anyways, that's all I got. That kwytebox email's in the description if you guys want to send me any video topics. If you guys got any thoughts, be sure to leave them in the comments below. Anyways, piss off.